moderators for this evening, so if you could give them a round of applause. We also have Glenn Flores from the business school. He will be our first moderator this evening. And the man we've all been waiting for. Let's give him a nice UP welcome, Chris.
There it is. Hello? It's not on. I've got no snare in my headphones. What? No. Hey, what? I'd be lying if I said I was nervous, so.
Are you nervous?
No, I'm not.
Okay, good.
Maybe I should sit here. Thanks for coming, guys. Yeah.
So talking about our personal lives feels like I'm violating something, like FERPA or something like that. So thank you for coming, for our students.
Thanks for having me. Thank you, everyone, for having Desiree. Thank you.
And I want to start this off by saying what you see is what you get. Like, he is the nicest young man. I thought that from day one when he came into my office. And his little sister was a business major for a while until we talked her into education. And she is a sweetheart as well. And I've met the other brother and sister-in-law and cute baby tonight. And they're just very nice people. So that's always nice to see nice people be successful in whatever they do. We're going to talk about some of those successes tonight. And some of the questions that people wanted to know was, how did you find your way to the University of Portland?
Okay, so I found my way to the University of Portland through my brother, my dad, and baseball, actually. My brother went to college here, and I kind of followed him through the years. He went to Jesuit, I went to Jesuit, he went to UP, I went to UP, sister on the back end. And then my dad was an advocate of UP and just kind of values that. And the education here that you guys teach. And then there was an opportunity to play baseball as well. And so I talked with Coach Barry, and he gave me the opportunity to walk onto the baseball program, or at least try. And that's kind of how I landed here. Convinced a few people to let me in, and convinced Barry to let me on the team, and
That well.
it worked out.
So,
8 years later.
How was it? 8 years?
Took 8 years.
They call that a doctor.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I'm going Chris Farley over here, although most of you are probably too young to know who Chris Farley
he
is.
has good reason for taking 8 years. The rest of you that are business majors, you get 4, right?
Yes.
So, can you talk a little bit about your transition from high school to the university here?
Yeah. So in high school, I traveled an hour to get to school every day. And baseball is a huge part of my life. Soccer is a huge part of my life. I wanted to get involved with with school as much as I could socially. So coming to college, I felt comfortable with introducing myself to people and kind of just embracing this ambiguity and not really knowing anybody around me, but trying to just find myself. And I didn't find the transition too hard because the sports aspect and trying to get involved socially in high school helped kind of. I ramble a lot, so that's going to happen. But
Do you want to tell them what dorm you were in?
I was in Corona Hall. That was fun.
Okay, they want to know.
I would shout out obscene comments or just whatever I wanted to say at pep rallies. They were pep rallies. Like the first thing, like introducing all the freshmen, hey, and then I was in the background and like, oh, I'm so excited to be here, and like being a jack.
Do you want to tell them what room you're in? Because they probably want to know.
What room was I in? So when you walk into Corona Hall in the front, right in the entrance, I was just to the left, facing the land, so like 120 something, or the RA's room is on the corner, on the left-hand corner on the north side. What? I think it was the largest room. What's that? What?
Well, when you came to the university, did you know what you wanted to study?
No, I didn't. I was an undecided major. She helped me decide and to find my path. I was taking science courses, I was taking business courses, and I was trying to narrow down, a certain field or a certain major that I enjoyed. And ultimately, I decided to go the finance route because I enjoyed working with numbers, and that ended up changing a little bit. And I graduated with a degree in economics, but it was challenging coming in. I didn't really know exactly what I wanted to study.
Well, your dad's a chiropractor,
Yeah.
if I remember, and then you really like the sciences. And can you speak a little bit about that, like the challenge of trying to decide, like, 'cause that's your life. Like, what am I going to do for 40 years? So can you speak a little bit about that and kind of the challenges you did go through, kind of the doctor route versus
Right.
business?
Yeah, so I grew up with my dad being a chiropractor and a huge advocate of natural medicine, and my mom was a massage therapist. So I wanted to come into college giving that a chance. So I started taking science courses, thinking that was the career I was going to ultimately go down, the path down, following my dad's footsteps. And just ultimately didn't pan out. It was, I don't know, it was hard. What was the question? About that.
Do you like what you're doing now?
I love what I do now. So I work in mortgage lending, and I get to run numbers all day and talk with people all day, and that was ultimately what I found was my vocation, what I was looking for. Yeah, so.
I'm glad you say vocation, because before we always talk about finding a vocation versus a job.
See, look at that.
So.
I didn't have any before when I was here, but I had her, so.
Yeah. So can you talk about your favorite teacher?
I have a lot of teachers I really enjoy. I don't know if I had people that come to mind right now are Dr. Anderson was a huge part. When I joined the East College program as a junior, he was the head of the East College program at that time, and he really inspired all of us. I guess I kind of looked up to him because he was going around the world starting all these East Scholars programs, and I was like, okay, if he can do something like this, if he can get creative minds into schools and then have them do what they want to do or what they're passionate about, maybe that's something that I could try to figure out. Maybe there's something I'd want to do, something like that. I don't know. So I remember him a lot. I enjoyed him as a teacher. Dr. Seal, who was an econ professor, he was great. I think he's from Mississippi, if I remember, Missouri.
He's still here.
He's still here.
Yes.
I don't see him. I loved him. He was good. You guys are okay.
So besides these scholars, did baseball keep you busy enough, or did you do any other activities while you were here? Or
Yeah.
clubs?
Yeah, baseball kept us really busy. Coach Sperry made sure that we were in the gym at 6 a.m., in class at 8, lunch at 12, on the field at 2, done by 6, pulling the target because it always rains here, and then at home, eating, back in the library, going to bed at 12, waking up at 6. So he kept us pretty busy and on track. I think that was that taught me a lot about time management and kind of organizing days, if you will, because I took baseball serious, he took baseball serious, and it was, you know, I wanted to excel in baseball, I wanted to excel in the classroom, so I had to like figure out a way to balance both of those. And extra activities outside of that. Corey, do I have any extra activities outside of that? None. That's all I did. So.
No scrubs. You sing
No scrubs. Oh, that's right. So sophomore year or freshman year, we had a karaoke contest, if you will, in the Commons, which now is gorgeous. But when we were there, we could eat as much as we want. That's happening in the now, right now, from the now. I sang No Scrubs by Destiny's Child, is it? TLC, whoops. My other favorite band. I won't sing it. I don't want to sing it. Oh, I don't want to disappoint. And always know. Next question. Where's your husband? Oh, is this over there? Thank you.
What is your fondest memory of University of Portland?
Oh, okay. So, scholastically or outside that?
I've got one of each.
One of each? I'll have to go back to the Scholars Program. We were fortunate enough to go to New York City, and back then, I don't know exactly, well, yeah, I just kind of involved in it, but we would come up with business plans, and my buddy and I at the time came up with the idea that we really wanted to start a coffee shop in Portland, where there are no other coffee shops. And we decided to use our New York trip wisely, and we went around and met with a whole bunch of tea and coffee shop owners, and went to a few baseball games and went to smart museums and stuff. But I would say that was a really memorable time for me educationally, I guess. And outside of that, so we lived in a house off of Haven and Syracuse, I think, right? In the corner, it's He's right there. Oh yeah. Oh, really? My room was the top room facing towards University of Portland. It has the stripes in it if you lived in that house. You do? Just cycling them. Where's Mike? He's just cycling them all through. So we had.
You have to sign.
Stand up.
You have to sign.
Sign your forehead. Hi. Oh, you got a question? Your question is, why did I put the stripes in the room? Is that what it was?
Well, okay, so something about the house. Housemate?
It's a large house.
So much pressure.
Apparently several years ago, like the floors were all torn up for an animal or something.
There were 4 animals, actually.
Yeah, did you ever have like critters keeping you up at night going through the walls?
Jason Bull and Danny Ari. No, we didn't. Yes, we did birds, actually, in my room. At my head. Yep. There were birds. They were crawling into the corner of the window facing west. Yep. Wow.
Those birds?
They're still there. They fly in any weather. So does the bird. Yeah. I think we should bring Brian or Corey to the floor.
Should we ask them?
If they would like to appropriately answer the question. Hey, this comes embarrassing. There are plenty. I don't think any of them are appropriate.
And what do you think was the most valuable lesson that you learned here about life?
What's that? My mom. I'd say it takes a while to figure out what it is exactly that you want to do. And that's why we're going to all these different classes. We're taking, taught by all these different professors from all different backgrounds. And I'd say that the most valuable lesson I learned was that ultimately you have to stick to what you're passionate about, and then just kind of go after it. Don't be caught in like these cliches of, I have to, go to high school, and then I go to college, and then I get a 40-hour-a-week job, and then I have a family, and then I retire, and then I'm done, and then I have kids and grandkids. Like, if you really want to do something, or if you're artistic, or if you want to start a business, like, I would say chase those dreams, because I left 10 years ago, and while I've had, all kinds of different experiences, and I'm comfortable with where I'm at, I'm happy with where I'm at, I'd say that you want to make sure that when you get to my age or our ages, and back on the previous 10 years, you want to make sure that you can say that you're happy about doing what you're doing or the path you're taking. So chase what you're interested in. How cliche is that? There's plenty of time. Friends will come and go. You'll only keep a few friends. I don't know. But they're all your friends right now. Stay in touch with your teachers.
So, you came, I remember when you were off seasons, you came back to the office and we were talking about, because Chris got drafted your junior year.
Yeah, that's my junior.
So you can imagine you're a junior and all of a sudden you have this opportunity to play pro ball, but yet you have a college degree you're passionate about finishing. So he would come back all the time and we were always trying to figure out ways, like maybe taking a class, somewhere else that would count so you could kind of...
Stop writing your graduation rate.
Yeah, he messed up my graduation rate really bad. But I remember one time we were talking about you were going to write a book.
Yeah.
You want to tell that story a little bit?
Yeah, I do remember that.
Obviously he has, right?
Yes, and I have. I've always kind of had like a passion for writing and just kind of putting my thoughts down. Well, some came out in poetry, which was just really weird, and I don't know how it happened, but it just happened. Back in 2009, I don't remember what year you and I had sat down and talked about that, but I remember sitting in your class and there was a book that I read. It was about, it was blue covers, some nonprofit in Argentina, or the Hippo.
Oh, Mike Stewart, a UK alum of 04 wrote that book.
Yeah.
Yes.
She's like, see, he did it, you can write a book, I know. But I remember going back and she...
Yeah, I don't have to, by the way.
I remember sitting in her office and it was pretty much the same thing. You're like, if you are interested in writing, you should go after writing and start putting it in the paper and write a book. And I don't know how. So that's about when I started. So that must have been 2009. Because that's when I started writing poetry. Through baseball, instead of taking a journal, I would write poetry in a journal form. And some of you have that. I don't know. I'll read some poems for you, Brian. And I didn't actually think it was going to be put into a book. I wanted to do it, and I'd always thought about it, but then I ran into someone on the show who could help me out with that, so she pretty much, kind of inspired me to put together a book. Kind of.
I think you inspired yourself.
Technically, that's when that was about the time I started thinking about putting the book together.
Well, I think you have that entrepreneurial spirit. I mean, you definitely know that you have these ideas, and it's not, ideas are just ideas until you put them into action, and you were always good at that. I think at this point, I've asked the questions the students have asked. I think Chris Ferry, you ready to come down?
The roast begins. Thanks. You know, the side of this. Come, ready? Stay here.
Okay,
Okay.
I've never done this before, so bear with me. I was trying to think today about the first time that I saw you putt as an amateur or as a high school player. Do you remember that day?
Was that with Ringer? I was playing with
I think
the
so.
original Ringer team?
Yeah. I had come out, I have a very good friend whose name is Hank Jones, and Hank has spent almost 40 years with the Los Angeles Dodgers, and he's really experienced. I said, hey, I want to go see this left-handed kid pitch. He's 6'5". Usually if a kid's left-handed and he's 6'5", his heart's beating at all. You want to take it. So I said, would you come out and watch this kid with me? He and I were there together. Do you remember that? Would you describe yourself as a high school pitcher? Because I think the development was...
Yeah. So I've always struggled with control, if you guys know anything about baseball. I've always struggled with throwing strikes. But in high school, I was trying to... What? Boulder. Yeah. Right. Wish. In high school, I just was trying to come into my own. I was a gangly 6'4", now I'm not. Pitcher who didn't really know where the ball was going ever, but I had a curveball, if that was what you were referring to.
Well, how hard did you throw?
I didn't throw very hard in high school. I was like, I think I look back on a few notes we had taken. It's like 83, 85. I don't know if 87, I ran out there once, but when I came freshman year is when something happened.
I think you transposed some numbers, because I remember 78.
No! Exciting.
I mean, honestly, out of high school, it was like this. But he had a curveball that he could really land. But when he left UP, he was throwing 92, 93, 94 miles an hour and still had a curveball. So it was quite a jump. Talk a little bit about your junior year and the major league rules as far as eligibility goes for the draft and your decision-making process when you were selected in the fourth? What round? 11th. Talk a little bit about that.
So I got drafted in 2007 by the Cubs as a junior. And it was a hard decision because once you leave college, you forfeit your eligibility for your senior year. And we were coming around, and we had we put together a decent 3 years. I mean, they weren't great, but we had the mold there. And so I had to weigh, the option of whether or not I wanted to go and pursue this potential career that I've been trying to chase, or if I wanted to stay and help, the team senior year and help Coach Ferry make it to the playoffs of the WCC. And it was a battle. I mean, I remember sitting down in your office with you, and you were supportive of it, but you also wanted me to come back because that was about the time I was coming around a little bit more and throwing strikes. And you probably want to part ways. I didn't necessarily want to part ways, but ultimately, I ended up making the decision to go play pro ball because I didn't know if that opportunity was going to present itself the next year. So with baseball, you want to make sure you stay healthy because if you're not, no one's going to want you to play professionally. And I was healthy at the time, so I felt everything had just lined up appropriately for me to leave and go play some baseball. Yeah, it was a hard decision.
Can you talk a little bit about the difference between life as a collegiate athlete and life as a professional athlete?
Oh, terrible. Life as a professional athlete in the minor leagues is a lot harder. Maybe hard is not the word because you still have the pressures of performing in college. You definitely have the the pressures of performing as a professional baseball player because someone's always trying to take your position. Here, we were blessed with certain luxuries. Traveling was great. We actually flew everywhere because all of the teams we played were down in California, except in Zagreb. In professional baseball, we drove to those cities, which would be 8-10-hour bus rides after the game at 11 o'clock at night. We get to the next city where we're going at 7 or 8 or 6 in the morning, and we always ate Domino's pizza, thin crust, because we watched our figures, and it just wasn't. I enjoyed baseball, but the lifestyle is a lot different than college baseball, because in college you're going to school, and then you can take that break and you can go play baseball, but in professional baseball, you're always thinking about baseball, and you're always thinking about, you're not supposed to, but you're always thinking about your previous outing and your next outing, and it was just, it was a different mind game.
Was it difficult for you? You know, you mentioned soccer and baseball. I've known your dad going back now, as athletics have been an important part of his life. With sports being so important from such a young age, when professional baseball ended for you, was that a difficult transition?
It was an interesting transition. It was, so I got released in 2011 on the last day of spring training, which is the worst day, so don't get released on the last day of spring training. It was an interesting transition because all I knew was that I had to be somewhere, someplace at this time every single day, and I knew exactly what I was going to be doing at every single hour of every single day. And then it went from that rigorous schedule to, okay, what do I want to do now? And I knew I had to go back and finish my degree, but I wanted to see if I could still keep my hand in baseball and give it one more shot. So I went and played independent baseball for about a month, partially tore my elbow, and at that point it was like, okay, now I have to actually consider, is this something I want to pursue? Do I want to rehab? Do I want to try to get back into baseball? Or do I want to, given my age, do I want to pursue something that I have other interests in? So I decided to go back to school, and school gave me that balance from what I had with baseball. I knew that I had to go to class, I knew I had to study at this time, I knew I had to do this and that, which I enjoyed. I'm not that type A, am I? Yes? I'm that type A. But it wasn't like difficult or hard, it was just different.
You were how old when you came back to school?
25, 26. I'm 28 in December. I graduated in 2012.
Was that
25,
being a little bit older than most of the kids in class? Was that?
It was the only one who grew facial hair. You guys aren't drinking your milk. None of you should be growing facial hair.
Was that a?
Unless you, Eric, in the back. I see you. Snuck in.
Was that a challenge at all? Did you find it odd being a little bit older?
Everyone looks over like, who's this guy? I was always in baggy sweatpants and I would open my head and trying to be all nonchalant. And, that's true.
So school ends.
Mm-hmm.
Baseball is a part of your past, and you finish your degree. Where'd life take you? Obviously, everybody knows most recent history, but leading up to that.
I landed a contract job at Adidas doing accounting and finance. That was a 6-month position where they would, reevaluate if they wanted me to continue to work there or not. I really enjoyed that time there. I realized that it wasn't necessarily what I was very interested in. I liked crunching numbers and looking at spreadsheets and Excel all day, but I needed something that was a little bit more engaging for me socially, and an opportunity came up to get into mortgages and residential lending. And so I hit the road and went up north to Seattle, and it was like I think it was like a 2-week transition. Like, hey, you want the job? Sure, I'll take it. And then I just moved out my 2 weeks notice and hopped into this new job. And since then, the job's been great. I love Seattle. and I haven't really looked back.
Favorite part of being a UP baseball player?
I loved the competition on the field. Loved it. Still miss it. And I think I tore my elbow 2 weeks ago at the alumni game competing. I'm pretty sure it's sore.
By the way, thanks for still having trouble throwing strikes.
Gosh. It's true. I struck out only 5 of them. Anyway. Sliders. You can't expect someone to throw sliders every single time. In fact, I forget who it was, like one of your left-handed hitters, I threw changeups inside. And I threw changeup first pitch, he fouls it back. Fastball, and he fouls it. And then I threw him a slider away, and I walk up to him after the game, I'm like, you'll never see a changeup from a lefty inside, I promise you, till you die. But I'd say life in baseball school, I made a whole bunch of friends, and those are friends I'm still friends with today, and that was a huge part of my baseball experience here at the University of Portland. I had friends all throughout campus, but I was with these guys, these 30 guys. Oh yeah, like as a friend, I didn't. That sounded very arrogant. Sorry. I didn't have any friends. I take it back.
Go on. We didn't take it that way.
Oh, good.
People like you. Yeah, we do.
I enjoyed the company I was around, and that came from the top. I mean, you made sure that we were all a close-knit group. Today, I'm still hanging out with the same guys. So.
You have been very loyal.
Loaded?
Loyal.
Loyal. I said loaded. Because I have been. It's weird. How do you know that?
You know that your life and Dez's life right now could not be any busier than it is. And yet, you make time to come down to the alumni game. Every year you come to the Diamond Dinner. Why have you maintained that connection with us?
I enjoy the University of Portland. I really do. I spent 8 years here. Really like it.
Freshman year was tough.
Freshman year was tough. It was. I just think it's important to stay connected to where you spent the majority of your growing years, and I had a really good connection with everybody here. So I thought it was important that I come back and share experiences. Not everyone gets to experience what I've done, what Des has done, so I think it's important that we share that with people. And I'll probably continue to come back. I enjoy my high school. I was thankful for having the opportunity to go there. I'm thankful for my parents helping me out, and so I'll continue to stay in touch with them.
So there's this show called The Bachelorette.
Finally, he stops talking about stupid things. Talks about
We all want to know
We all want to know.
how you found out about the show, how you decided to try out for the show. Take us there.
So I pursued a career in modeling for a bit. And no, that's not how it happened. Wait, that did happen, but that's not. Check your phone. And I was actually out in Queen Anne, Lower Queen Anne, for a little bit. And some people know where that is. And my buddy and I were walking out of this restaurant at 10:30 at night on Saturday. And this lady approached us and asked us if we had heard of the show, The Bachelorette, and if we were interested in interviewing. And I was like, whoa. We just moved up here like 3 months ago. Yeah, I don't want to talk to you. I'm trying to get this cab. I'm trying to go to the bathroom. I'm trying to have some fun. And she's like, no, really? Please, will you come interview? And I was like, all right, well, Ryan will. So Ryan takes her card, and I go on with the night and hang out with my friends. And the next morning, I tell Danny and Sarah, two of my really good friends, that this girl approached me and they're like, you have to do this. Do you even know what this show is? I'm like, not really. I don't watch it a whole lot. So the times I watch it with my sister. They're like, you have to do it, you're single, you're new to Seattle, you don't know anybody, you have no friends, you might as well just give it a try. So I went down, I called the lady back up. I actually had to call Ryan, because Ryan had her business card. And I'm like, Ryan, hey, you gonna do that? He's like, yeah, man, yeah, it's been hard finding, like, girls, I'm gonna try this. I'm like, yeah, I'll try this too, let me call her. So I called her and I'm like, hey, you remember me? I was that guy that was really nice to you last night. I'd really like to come down and interview with you if you give me a chance. So I went down and interviewed, and the process was crazy, and here I am. And you want to hear about the process? You want to hear about it? Oh, sounds your phone. Yeah. So I went down and interviewed at this hotel. They started throwing all kinds of questions at me, personal questions and these people, and work questions, social life questions, and we're like, okay, we kind of like you. Here's 30 questions. We fill these out, take some Polaroids, and try to make it professional. And I didn't know any professional photographers, and send them back to us. And sent them back like 2 weeks later because I was just delaying the process. I wasn't sure. I was teetering back and forth, and sent them back. And they called me back a couple weeks after that, and they said, hey, we kind of like you. We think you might fit what we're looking for. Would you consider coming down to LA? And I was like, wow, all right, this is real, really happening. And I went down to LA, and I think there's a handful of contestants or people, real people, I think 100 real people, that go down there, and we get put through the ringer. And they're pretty much what they're trying to ultimately decide is that if you're psycho, if you have any, issues, if you are psycho. I tricked them. I tricked him. I graduated. And it kind of just wound down to 25 guys, and at that point, after the interviews in LA, they would call me a couple times and say, how serious are you? And I'm like, I'm thinking about it. They're like, how serious are you? Okay, I'm more serious. And then they're like, okay, we've selected you for the Bachelorette. And it was crazy because Chris Harrison actually called. He did not. He didn't call. He's a great guy though. Really nice. Played soccer in college. Many leather-bound books. So that was the process. Brevity is key.
All right.
Brian?
So, I don't know if you've already covered this or not. Gwen kind of had you talk about it a little bit. What advice can you offer UP students in both professional and personal aspects of their life?
Oh, okay. Personal, let's just go to personal. Be open to meeting new people and just be open. I say that it's important to not be shy in college. Don't be shy. I don't know. What's the question? I blocked out again. What advice can I offer? What advice can I offer?
Yeah, what advice?
Personal advice. Yeah. I don't have any. I don't have any advice. It's bad. It's just be open.
So,
Real.
my family, we're all very big Duck Dynasty fans. I'm fascinated by this family and I'm reading about them, and one of my daughters was telling me that they were asked what's changed in their life, and one of them said the only thing that's changed in our life is we drive better trucks. So I'm curious to know, because we were on vacation, and in August, 2 days after this thing happened, you're all over the People magazine. And how has this thing changed your lives?
It's it's a little bit different. Things are a little bit different. We're on People magazine and stuff like that. We're we're two very normal people, so we try to do our best to just do the things that we would normally do. The only difference is that when we go to the grocery store, people come up to us and say hi. And I think what's different about this show and, Robert Downey Jr. and Iron Man is that people have a different relationship with us because we're spilling all of our emotions out and our likes and dislikes and feelings. So when they come up to us, or no one's ever shy, and they want to start talking, and that's great, I think, because it allows us to share in our experiences with them. Sometimes we just want to go grocery shopping, but that's changed. People notice us on the street, and that's weird, but it happens, and so we've embraced it. And people want to hear me ramble. It's different.
Okay, well, I'll close with this. I have a lovely wife and 3 daughters, so in our house, there was no choice but to watch. And I have not watched this show, and I knew Chris was on it, and so I kind of peeked at the first night, and then I peek a little bit the next night. But he's not on it all the time. So, and then I find out from my daughters that there's these spoiler alerts, right? Did you guys follow the spoiler alert? Chris is going to finish third, so why am I going to watch my guy finish in third place? Well, we're on vacation at Sun River, and I'm cooking dinner, and there's one television in the house, and the show's on. It's down to 3 guys, and then through the course of events, now it's down to 2 guys. Well, the spoiler's wrong. He's not going to finish third, he's going to finish at least second. So now I got to watch. I'm dialed in. I got to watch the show to see how my guy does. And he wins. Now, I don't know if you remember this, but you and I traded texts within an hour of that. I wrote you 2 words. You wrote the same 2 words back to me. Do you remember them?
I'm going to check. Do you remember?
I do.
I had about 150 texts at once. But obviously what we shared was very personal. I said, go Pilots. Go Pilots, yeah, that's right.
If we could just give a big hand to both of our moderators. And then at this time, we're going to invite Des up to the stage. Okay, so I think our first question is going to come from Quinn, our president. Quinn, do you want to stand up? So, if you are wanting to ask a question, we just want you to raise your hand, and then when they give you the microphone, we would like you to say your name and what grade you're in.
My name's Quinn. I'm a junior. I'm the student body president here at the university. And on behalf of all the students here, Des, will you accept these roses?
And Chris, will you accept this rose from the University of Portland?
Yeah, sure.
Please get one.
You want your mic? You just have to stand up first. Oh.
All right, so if you have
Thanks,
any
guys.
questions.
Hi, I'm Anna. I'm a freshman. I'm from Seattle, so I was wondering what your guys' favorite part of Seattle is.
I'm fairly new to Seattle. It's been 7 weeks, but I've enjoyed so much of it. I think he's taken me to all the places that you could really see in Seattle. What's your favorite? Because you've been there a year.
Yeah, I made sure I took her to Discovery Park, Green Lake.
I love Green Lake. I like Green Lake. Yeah, I think it's really pretty, and you can like walk around, and it's nice. So I say that's my favorite so far.
Thanks. That guy.
Hi, you might remember me from like 2 minutes ago. So, I've never seen The Bachelorette. I didn't really know what the difference between The Bachelorette and The Bachelor was. My girlfriend couldn't be here tonight, so she sent me as a representative. She told me that if I could get a picture with you guys, that she'd love me forever. So my question would be, can I get a picture with you guys? That she'd love me forever.
Only if I can take a picture of you, taking a picture of us. Photos of you. You are tall. You're tall. What are you? You're a freshman? Compliments, yeah. Get in here. You take a picture of us.
He's taller.
Yeah.
Back to us. He's taller.
You're taller. Oh, More bagels? What?
What?
Say where you go.
1, 2. One more. Okay, ready? 1, 2. Perfect.
All right. Thank you so much. Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you. Because there's no curtsy.
Hello, my name is Haley,
And I'm Erica.
and we are senior nursing students. And okay, well, my question is, we watch you guys every week, and we saw every place you went to, and we just want to know what your favorite place was.
You want to go first?
God.
Okay. Yeah, they're all really
For different reasons. Like,
I love Spain.
Spain's my favorite, for sure, I think, because it's really artsy, and the people are really nice, and there's a lot to do. So I think Spain was absolutely my favorite.
Yeah, we got to stay in a small town outside of Barcelona on the Mediterranean Sea, which was cool. And so
She wants to go.
it's all Sitges. So Spain was a good time.
Or Madeira, if you ever have the chance to go to Madeira. It was really pretty.
It was fun. There's a small town called Funchal in Madeira that is kind of touristy, but
That was
it's on. Yeah. It was like, you're up.
Okay, so my question is, we saw the episode for when you went to his hometown, and your dad did the chiropractor with the nose thing, and I was curious what that does. Just because we're very interested in alternative practices.
Well, it's polybilateral nasal specific. Yes. And so you have, if you will, 3 shells on either side of your nose, right? And what it does is, see if it adjusts or aligns the bones in the head. It's like really the only way to adjust the facial bones or the top of your head bones. There's a video online that kind of teaches you how to do it. doesn't teach you anything, but it tells you about.
Yeah, don't practice that.
Don't practice.
Hi, I'm Hannah. I'm a freshman business student. And my question is, you have to see a lot of your lives play out in front of the camera and a lot of the things you have to do and the interactions with people. But my question is, what was the show like behind the scenes when the cameras were off or when the cameras were away? Like maybe Chris, when you were waiting and it wasn't your turn for a date, like, what was that like?
He was crying in his pillow. Writing poetry.
I'd say about 85% of the time you saw, we were being filmed, so there wasn't a whole lot of off time or downtime with cameras not being around. We had a lot of man chats. You didn't see a whole lot of those, but when people are on dates, no, it wouldn't be very fitting. So we got to know each other. The guys got to know each other very well. I became really good friends with some of them while I was there, and some of it is secret, so we can't tell you. But I didn't have a date, if you noticed, until a couple weeks in. So I had a lot of contemplation time and thinking about what it was there for the right reasons. Get it? Right reasons? Yeah.
Do you guys know that?
Yeah.
Really? Do you guys want to sing it?
Sing it!
Rap reason.
Hello.
Hi.
My name is Renee, and I'm from Loomis, California. So for all of us Bachelor and Bachelorette fans, is your guys' wedding going to be broadcasted live on TV?
Ooh,
And
wow.
do you have a date?
And what?
Do you have a date?
Are you asking if I want to
It will
date?
be. No, we talked about it, and even if we had a date, we would be able to disclose that information. But we are trying to plan it and figure it out for sometime next year.
And do you think would it be live, like broadcast?
Who do you work for? We're not
TMZ.
We're not sure yet. We haven't decided. We're looking
Yeah.
for something, smaller and intimate, but that doesn't really align with.
Something that will suit, what we want.
Yeah.
But we would love to share it with everyone who got to watch our story unfold, so.
We haven't decided.
We would appreciate it.
Selena has a question. Everybody, this is Selena.
Would you like to be a backup dancer?
Yes. Yes, go my mom. Hey, she's in her school.
Hello. My name is Abby, and I'm a sophomore. And I was wondering if you guys are still regularly writing poetry to each other, and if you could share with us one of your favorite poems you wrote.
Yeah, we still write some poetry.
Yeah, it's not like, I think on the show you have so much downtime that's where you're able to not be distracted and kind of write or do anything that's creative, or, anything that you don't normally have time because you're so distracted. Yeah.
We do still write notes for each other and pieces here and there. So yes, we're still writing, and we would like to share a poem with you. Do we have a book somewhere?
Yeah.
Or maybe I have one on my phone, actually.
Oh, what's the book?
Oh, look, there it is.
Aww.
Do you guys have one that you'd like
What's
us to
your
read?
favorite? That's really cute.
There.
I love that the only man in here.
Okay, so I wrote this poem for Des, as it says here, on a plane to Portugal. So, or it was to Madeira, but from Spain, but Madeira is in Portuguese. I It's called Smile. You smile, I look. You notice, it's great. I smile, you look. Connection we've made. I know it's real. Connection I feel comes only but once in a while. For you with me is all I can see. Please smile at me for a while. Backstory. When we were at the dodgeball date, that's pretty much why I wrote that. When we were at the dodgeball date, the little things that you guys didn't see that we noticed in each other was I didn't always have to be around her, or she didn't always have to be around me to know that both of us were paying attention to one another. So she'd be across the room with Juan Pablo, hanging out with yeah, exactly. And I'd be on the other side of the room with Mikey, just talking and working out, and she'd look over and smile at me, and then I'd, glance back at her, and it was kind of like, okay,
From the first date.
Yeah, we made that connection where you're okay, you're doing your thing, and I'm okay doing my thing. And that's actually what we've talked about quite a bit, this natural connection that we've had pretty much from day one, of where we don't always need to be next to each other, side by side, all the time.
But we want to.
But we do now. We want to be, all the time. And we still were able to come back and relate, and go away and be fine, and come back and so.
But that comes with the confidence, I think, a natural confidence in each other, I think, to where you can just be on the other side of the room and it's, that they're there.
Yeah. Go with this.
What's your name?
Wilson.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I can't believe
I'm
it's
ready
really
now.
you, Gretchen Wilson. Can't believe it's really her. Yeah, thanks. Oh, look at that selfie.
All right, hello, I'm Marissa. I'm a freshman sociology student here, and this question's for you, Chris. I also went to Jesuit, so I was wondering who your favorite teacher was from Jesuit High.
Quiz.
Know them.
What?
And if I know them.
Yeah. What? I did like both Potters and Jean. I like Jean Potter a lot. Gosh, that was a while ago.
For Alan, because he talked about you a lot. Greg Allen.
Yeah, I remember him. You know who's actually been in contact with me a little bit is Tim Spray. Yeah, and the person I stay in touch with still is Kathy Barks. We still talk. She's here somewhere. She left. Rombach. I love Gary Rombach. He was your guy. What's that? Yeah. They live across the street, or his son lives across the street from my parents. So, who's your favorite teacher?
Mr. Thurley?
Oh, the guy.
Yeah, Mr. Allen's up there too.
Nice.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Chris, when you were talking about the dodgeball date, though, you won that, right?
Really? You're gonna rub it in?
Oh,
I got second.
But that's still really good.
No, thanks. Well, I won the rose.
Yeah, which is obviously more important.
Obviously.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Fiona, and I'm the assistant hall director at Grotto.
Grotto.
I have two questions. The first one's for Chris. So you spent a lot of time in Portland. What was your favorite thing to do here in the city?
Read and write coffee shops. A lot. I said read and write coffee shops. I'm just kidding. Let's see. I really enjoy running in Forest Park. That's something I've taken like to do. We've got a runner. What else do I like doing fun? I don't really, actually, I don't mind just sitting down on 23rd and people watching. Don't judge me. I don't mind. I really don't. So I do that. That's something I like doing.
He took me to go people watching.
My second I'm a California transplant, just like you, to this rainy stuff. How have you brought your California spirit up to Seattle?
You know, I think in California, everyone's pretty, easygoing. I mean, I live by the beach, so you kind of just, you're carefree. And so I think I've been able to just, take that spirit and kind of embrace the rain. It's something I'm not used to, but I've learned you don't need an umbrella. Otherwise, it makes you look, not cool. And I've actually enjoyed it. I've enjoyed the rain. Ask me that in about a month or so. No.
She'll still like it and not have an umbrella. We've got 2 in the car that we haven't used. Thanks. Really? Alright. Our friend Danielle lost them both.
Yeah.
We don't have.
Hi. My name's Taylor. I actually go to OSU. Don't keep me out. I do support UP, so anyways. This is for Des. I was just wondering, since you're in the bridal industry, I was wondering if you're going to design your own wedding dress or plan your wedding when it's going to happen.
Yeah, I'll definitely, because I've been in the bridal industry for so long, I kind of, I've seen what not to do and how to not be so stressed out. So I'll definitely plan, design my own dress. So that'll be fun. I'll let him sew some beads.
I want to see it. I want to see it. I want to see it.
Aww.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hi, my name is Lauren. I'm a senior education major. So the question I have, I'm not sure if you can answer it, but I kind of heard online that the show was actually filmed in less time than it seemed on TV. Is that true?
That's a good question.
I don't know. How long do you think it is on TV?
Well, online it said it was filmed in 3 weeks.
Oh.
Oh, no.
It's just that.
It was 3 weeks, man.
Like you don't know what to do.
No, it's more 10 weeks to 10 to 12, yeah.
And also, apparently, I live in your old house.
Hey!
You're welcome to come take a look at it.
Is that an invitation to your house?
If you want to sleep over.
Yeah. Sound good.
Hi, I'm Alex. I'm a freshman nursing major, and I was wondering if you guys are planning on watching Juan Pablo season together.
Juan. Who?
Juan Pablo. Juan Pablo.
Juan. You get it.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna watch it because we both know him pretty well, and
I'm not turning that.
no, I mean, he probably spent more time with Juan than I did, but it's true. Yeah, I would love to watch and see if he can find his love as well.
Stay on the one.
What?
Stay on the one.
Stay. You do? You love Juan?
Oh, I said for you, know very well. There. Hold it.
Hello, can you hear me?
Testing?
I'm Julia, I'm a senior here at KDUP, Communication Studies major, and I am a student ambassador in the admissions office. And my coworker and I, Kara, have a Saturday visit tomorrow where we will be giving campus tours and there will be a complimentary lunch at the Commons after. If you would like to join us, I don't know if you've had a tour yet at Des. Chris could maybe help us out a little bit, jump in on it.
Yes, that's a great idea. We'll have to think about it.
Take your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi. First of all, Chris, thanks for being a friend of KDUP.
Yeah.
We love you. Thanks so much.
You're welcome. Thanks for doing that. That was fun.
That was a lot of fun. So I wanted to ask, are you going to take this to the tea room later?
That's a good question. Next question. Tea room is where we went. I think. Jeff, do you have a question? Oh.
Okay. So I'm actually a junior in high school. So my friends wouldn't come with me because they didn't think that I'd actually meet you guys. So I came with my dad instead. So anyway, I have two questions. So my first one is, when did you know that you had met the person that you wanted to spend the rest of your life with?
I think I wrote a poem about this actually.
It's like, because obviously, I mean, if you watch, there's a lot of, you're dating way too many people at once. And, but what you don't see is the little things that really matter. Like we said, when, no matter what, from the beginning, it was we had a connection that it was stronger for what could really last. And I think that's what always,
She said it early.
It's not really early. But no, the moment where it's I think it's when you can't imagine saying goodbye because you don't want to live without that person. And I think that's when it's yeah, you're gonna spend the rest of your life with them because you don't want to say goodbye to her.
Okay, and my second question is, I need a photo to show my friends.
Snapchat. Yeah, what's that? Should we do a selfie? You want a selfie? Okay. Hey, that's good. Did it work? Can you Photoshop that?
Yes.
Filters. Right in that filter. You're welcome. Hashtag filter.
What?
Oh, yeah.
What? Okay, I'm Linnea, and I'm a senior business major. This question is for Des. I really loved your fashion on the show, and how do you get to pick out your own outfits? Do you have to buy your own clothes?
Yeah, when you're on the show, when I was in Sean's season, and when he was in this season, you just bring whatever you have, and kind of have to make yourself look good. But being on the other side, I was provided clothes, but honestly, I chose what was comfortable. I didn't care. But yeah, I got to choose what I wore.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, I'm Caitlin. I'm a sophomore biochem major. First of all, I'd like to thank Chris. He actually converted my boyfriend to a Bachelorette watcher. And he actually cheered, "We are proud of you" when you won. So that was pretty cool. So his question for you is, how did you come up with the tie your shoe thing in the beginning?
So I wanted to try and stand out a little bit because she met 24 other dudes at the same time. And I thought it, could act as a little bit foreshadowing. I don't know, we were just messing around, or I was just messing around with some ideas right before that night and thought that I had a little bit of help, but I thought that was a good idea. My original idea was I wanted to hop out of the top of a smart car to go on the ceiling by Black Keys, and that wasn't allowed, so.
And then my question for Des is, what was the hardest part about being the Bachelorette?
The hardest part. I think when you're, in that situation, the hardest part is just, I don't know, just kind of follow your heart, to be honest. Because, you have so much going on that you have to stay focused on what you're really there for, and I think that becomes hard with so many distractions.
Hey, I'm Jen, and I'm a senior psych major. I've been a fan of The Bachelorette since sophomore year in high school.
Nice.
This question's mainly for Des. It seemed Chris said earlier that there was this huge grueling process in order to become a contestant, but there's still a lot of crazy people in the first couple episodes. Do they do that on purpose just to make people laugh?
No, to be honest, you don't know how anyone's going to be until you put them in a house full of people. So, I mean, there could be a girl that just could be, it seems like she's perfect for the guy, but then you, but then you put her in a house full of women and they just don't know how to act, and so crazy comes out. But to be honest, I mean, it's just a product of the environment. Because
my favorite was the guy that was shirtless and jumping.
Zach. Zach's actually, he's a really good guy.
Yeah, Jonathan.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm Jennifer. I'm a junior elementary education major. My question for you is, my best friend just got engaged last weekend. What advice do you have for her engagement?
Enjoy it. I don't know.
It only lasts for a second.
Well, yeah, I really think enjoy it because so many brides get stressed out right away for planning. So, I don't know, is anyone married? Anyone married? No? So, that, and I don't know, I guess that would be it. Enjoy it, and
We've only been engaged for a little time, but we've seen people through working, with different wedding boutiques that really stress conscious.
yeah, I think just keeping what a marriage is for, what your wedding is actually for in sight, and not necessarily the flowers and the production of it.
Thank you. Hello.
Hello.
I'm Dana. I'm actually an alum, class of 2012.
Me too.
I just want to say, first of all, you're both so beautiful. And I've been a fan of the show for a really long time. My question is, would you, obviously it turned out really well for you, but would you recommend it to most of your single friends?
All single ladies?
Honestly, no, I wouldn't. No, I mean, personally, my friends, I wouldn't. I think you have to be prepared and ready, and you have to be a strong person. I mean, you still learn a lot about yourself, but you have to be able to handle,
24 guys dating your potential fiancé. Right?
Yeah, you do. But I mean, it works for us. So
Yeah.
it definitely does work if you keep your part of it.
Thank you.
Who wants to sign up?
Hi, I'm Sarah. I'm from Seattle, and I was just wondering if you ever had any say of what your dates were.
What my dates were? Not necessarily, because the producers had known me from the previous season, so they kind of knew my personality. They knew what I liked to do, and so they catered them around what I enjoy doing. So a lot of them were active, like sports or
Very normal guys. Yacht guys.
yeah, so we handle all that.
Well, I'm happy for you guys.
Thank
Thanks.
you. Thanks.
What?
Hi, my name is Corinne. I'm a senior nursing major at UP from Redmond, Seattle.
Oh, yeah.
Area. And I was just wondering if you guys are going to be at the Seahawks game on the 13th of November. We have fall break. If you
Of November?
I was just wondering if you guys would come join me. I'll be at the game.
Actually, that might be a day we already go.
Check.
I think they're going to win.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Minneapolis is
It's your
shooting at
first
10
game.
o'clock.
Might as well go again.
What?
It wouldn't be your first game, so you could go again.
We were lucky enough to go to a couple Seahawks games. That was kind of fun. So.
Oh, and one other question. Desiree, how do you tone your arms?
How you?
Well, I played volleyball in high school, so that helps. Yeah, that helps with like just keeping your arms fit. And then I do like bar method and run and weights. I don't know. Just kidding.
It's the Vikings.
Hi, I'm Brittany, and I'm a sophomore nursing major, and this is kind of a serious question. So it's for you, Chris, and I was wondering, so Des did get hurt a lot this season, we all noticed. So I was wondering, how did you handle that, and how did that transfer to your relationship with her?
Good question. This is the first time this is masked, so let's do my best. I did a really good job, I'd say, in compartmentalizing all of my different relationships on the show. So my relationship with Des was different than my relationship with Michael, and Michael's relationship with her. And I just stayed true to what it was that I was ultimately after. I knew that I had a connection with her when I first had that conversation with her on top of that hotel, which isn't a little late. But I knew that there was something there, so I'm not one to get jealous or try to start little quarrels in the house. And I just focused on her and I. And when she was out on a date with Brooks or anybody else, I would leave that as that. And then when he would come back, he and I would have a relationship, or Michael and her would go on a date and they would do that. And then Michael would come back and I would have a relationship with Michael.
It sounds so weird.
Like a friendship. I literally just kept everything in different compartments. And it's the same with like school. I mean, I did a decent job with school and baseball, and you had to study for this class at this time, and then I had to go into baseball, and I couldn't be worrying about the test I was going to take, and then I had to eat, and I just was able to do that very well. So I just transferred it over to the show. I literally, like, I don't know if everyone can do it, but I was able to do it. It's weird. It was really weird. Yeah. So that's how I did it.
Hi guys. My name's Natalie, and first of all, I just want to brag and say that we actually met you earlier today.
Yeah, sorry.
I saw you coming out of the car. Anyways, my question for Des was, do you get to pick kind of the qualities of the guys that you want on the show?
I told him, oh no.
Frozen out.
I think he needed to be clumsy.
Not flexible.
No, not flexible. No, I was able to at least, describe what the kind of guys I liked and, what I felt was compatible. But they ultimately get to choose.
And then you're not allowed to give out Juan Pablo's number.
I don't have it.
You should talk for my friends, not for me.
I think he's busy right now. I'd like to give him a message. Hello.
Hi.
I'm AJ. I'm currently a poli-sci major, but I'm going to change to business eventually. And I have a question for Des. What was the biggest difference from being a contestant on The Bachelor to becoming the Bachelorette?
The biggest difference, there's so many. It's more emotionally draining and time consuming. Because when you're on the other side, you kind of do have some downtime. You get to hang out with everyone. Whereas, I was on every single day on dates, and dating one person is hard. So imagine what it's like. But that would be the hardest part. It's just being on all the time.
She did a really good job.
Do we have any more questions from the audience?
Yes, I have actually two. Okay, question for both of you guys. My name is Elise Ribka, and I am a criminal justice major.
Nice.
And I was wondering if you guys are still friends with anyone on the show.
She's still friends with some of the girls from the show.
Yeah, you spend so much time with them that you really get to create bonds. I mean, I talked to all of them, but I'm good friends with like Danielle and Jackie. And Lindsay.
Amy wasn't on it.
And then Amy is the producer, but yeah. And he's friends with the
I'm
guys.
still friends with you guys. We still text and occasionally and talk rarely, but we text a lot. Just because, you know, I'm talking to her. Yeah, we're still friends some.
And also, could we get a picture with you guys?
Yeah. We'll do, so let's do them after. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. But we will.
Okay.
Promise.
Sounds good.
Is there anybody else in the audience with any other questions? We'll get over to you. Keep your hand up.
I'll just talk really loud.
Okay.
I just want to know, like, most embarrassing story on the show that we didn't get to see, and then, like, something embarrassing that happened at UP we all want to know.
The most embarrassing story thing that happened on the show.
Oh, I know.
About me? Oh gosh! Oh, that was so weird. So when we were in Spain, so we just came from Germany, and we were eating really heavy foods, and you know we had some heavy beer, and the food was really rich. So when we got over to Spain, I decided I want to go on a 5-day cleanse of just fish and vegetables. I ate fish every single meal for 5 days, and when I got to the 4th night. I still continue to fish. On the 4th night, Zach came home from his date, and Zach W. came home from his date, and I'm like, hey man, how's it going? Like, I give him a hug, obviously, I give him a hug. And he goes,
that's gross, dude.
Yeah, and he goes, whoa, something smells like fish. And I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. And we're like, oh yeah, we were just down eating some food, whatever. So then we're getting later on in the night, we're hanging out, and Brooks came up to me and gave me a hug, because that's what we do. And he goes, dude, you smell like a mackerel. Like, no way this is me. I don't know how it works, but I ate so much fish that it was actually coming out of my pores. The smell was coming out of my pores, and it was absolutely disgusting. And I had a rose ceremony the next night that I had to attend. I had to. And I would go sauna, cold shower, workout, sauna, cold shower, and I like hardly got rid of it. I masked it with a lot of Axe and cologne, and it was probably the weirdest thing that has ever happened. I might have called. I either called you during it and said, "What is this actually possible?" or did I spill it all over my skin? My dad, I called, and he said, I was super saturated, a lot of cod liver oil. So that was embarrassing. And then I told her after the rose ceremony that you didn't see that. So we're all hanging out like, oh, that was awkward because it was this, yeah. And then I'm like, oh yeah, I smell like fish today. She's like, oh man, I'm tired. You don't get those. She knows. Oh.
I feel like you guys would know more.
Huh? You can handle it. I mean, to be honest, I think there are other people in the crowd that might be able to tell better embarrassing stories about me than me telling them. You're just loading it. I'd have to think about it for a second. A fun story was when we were living in that house. Oh yeah. We ran out of heat because. See? Oil's expensive. And we didn't want to pay for it because we were college students and we'd rather spend our money on food. And so we went for a couple weeks without oil in the tank, and it was literally like 38, 40 degrees in our house. We'd wear jackets, we'd eat in the cold, and we decided one night to warm the place up, we should throw a party, so we threw a party and got the heat going. You guys remember that? Got the heat going, brought people over, and had a lot of water. And ultimately, we ended up deciding to, go in halvesies with Mike. Go Mike. And, Yeah, thanks, Mom. I dressed up as Tinkerbell for Halloween freshman year in college. Danny was Peter Pan. It's an obvious choice. They go hand in hand. Someone had to be Tinkerbell.
My name's Joe. I'm an engineering major here. I'm a freshman. My question for you, Chris, was I know you play sports, so you're probably really competitive. What was it like the first night with basically 24 other competitors or competition?
Yeah, I felt out the situation. Soft jabs every once in a while. I just tried to get to know everybody. It wasn't if the time was available to talk with her, which I obviously wanted to talk with her. I was going to take that time, but I just tried to go around, talk to everybody, learn about the backgrounds. And you saw me like, hey, I'm Chris from Seattle, and that's all I had. Well, we talked for a good 10 minutes or something like that, but it was competitive, but I didn't really. It literally lasts like 9 or 10 hours. I went to bed at 8 the next morning. I got there.
That's what you don't see.
That's what you don't see. So like I was all flustered and like teary-eyed the first night. It was 7 in the morning. I was running up for coffee and water.
Do we have any last questions? Chris or Des, do you have anything to add?
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks a lot.